Britain's first space probe to land on another world. And why 60 million ladybirds are being flown into the Netherlands. Hello, and first tonight, an exciting new space mission. A team of scientists have started building Britain's first space probe, which will land on the surface of another world. It'll form part of the Cassini mission to observe Saturn. The probe is being sent to one of the planet's moons. Once there, it's hoped it'll uncover some of the mysteries of how life began on Earth. Newsround's Nick Gardner reports.
Scientists near Oxford are preparing the tiny probe for a journey into the unknown. It doesn't look much now, but eventually it will travel over 800 million miles before reaching the sixth planet in our solar system, Saturn. As these computer-generated pictures show, it'll split from the main Cassini spacecraft, which is due to observe the rings around the giant planet. The probe heading off to Titan, one of Saturn's 18 known moons. Titan is bigger than our own moon and covered by a thick layer of atmosphere. The probe, looking like a flying saucer, will parachute through the chemical clouds, beaming back information all the time. Scientists desperately want to know more about the atmosphere on Titan because they think it could hold the key to how life began on Earth.
The Earth's atmosphere, what we have now, is very different from the primitive, the original atmosphere. And so studying Titan gives us an opportunity to understand better the processes that went on our own planet in its early history.
No one knows how long the probe will survive or what it will find if it does eventually break through the clouds of Titan. It could carry on broadcasting information for up to 30 minutes after landing, perhaps providing scientists with even more vital clues about the origins of life.
The Prime Minister, John Major, is about to start an important meeting with the Irish Prime Minister, Albert Reynolds, to discuss ways of bringing peace to Northern Ireland. Earlier today, Mr. Reynolds called for a ceasefire by terrorist groups in the province. He said there was no justification for violence. 5 national newspapers have been criticised for publishing photographs of Prince Edward and his friend Sophie Rhys-Jones. The pictures, which showed the two kissing, appeared in the papers earlier this month. They were taken while the couple were spending a weekend at the Queen's home, Balmoral, in Scotland. Prince Edward complained to the Press Complaints Commission, the organisation that keeps an eye on what appears in newspapers. He said the photographs were an intrusion of his private life. Some people had claimed they were proof that Edward and Sophie will soon get married. Yesterday, the Commission agreed the pictures, which were taken with a long-lens camera, should not have been printed. Well, now to Greece, where drastic measures are being taken in the battle against pollution. Today, all private cars were banned from the centre of the country's capital, Athens. The city is one of the most polluted in Europe, but in the last week, high temperatures and little wind have made the situation worse. Hundreds of people have been taken to hospital suffering from breathing and heart problems. Athens already has a system to try to reduce car pollution. Only half the capital's vehicles are allowed into the city centre each day, depending on their licence plate numbers. Today's ban is only temporary, but with a poisonous cloud now smothering the city, many people living there hope it'll soon become permanent. Staying with Europe, 250,000 children have now signed up to take part in the Newsround Euro elections. They'll take place just before the main European elections on the 9th of June. In the third of our special reports reflecting a taste of life in member countries of the European Union, Juliet travels to the Scandinavian country of Denmark.
The Kingdom of Denmark is made up of more than 400 islands. People live on 97 of them. The country is small but successful, and the standard of living is high. The capital, Copenhagen, is a colourful city built around a series of canals. It was places like this that inspired the famous Danish storyteller Hans Christian Andersen, who wrote The Little Mermaid. Because Denmark doesn't have many natural resources like coal or oil, the Danes have always worked hard at developing alternative energy sources like wind power. Their turbines are sold to countries around the world, including Britain. Their bacon is too. The country is the world's biggest supplier. It was the Danes who invented Lego and built the first Lego land.
Here in Denmark, it seems that a lot of people feel much closer to their Scandinavian neighbours, Finland, Norway and Sweden, than they do to the rest of Europe. But perhaps the recent news that those three countries may well join the EU too, if their people vote yes to membership, will help the Danes to feel more involved.
2 years ago, the Danish people sent shockwaves through Europe when they voted against the Maastricht Treaty, a plan to create a closer bond between European nations. The no vote brought into question the whole future of a united Europe. However, after lots of campaigning, another vote was held, and this time over half the Danish people said yes. Lots of Danes took to the streets to celebrate, while the rest of Europe breathed a sigh of relief. Even now, though, Danish children still seem divided.
I think Denmark should be by itself, outside the Union, because I want to keep my own language, money and those kinds of things.
I think it was a bad thing to say no, because it would leave Denmark on the outside of the Union, while all the other countries would be together.
I think I would have voted yes. My parents voted yes, and they explained the whole idea of the European Union to me.
Denmark's only land border is with Germany, and tomorrow we'll be finding out what the European Union means to the people there.
And finally, the United States is sending 60 million ladybirds to the Netherlands to gobble up greenfly. The ladybirds are arriving in thousands of cloth bags like these. Many of the creatures are being released in fields. Others are being set free into trees in villages where the greenfly problem has become particularly bad. Poisonous sprays are usually used to control pests, but this time the region decided to try a more environmentally friendly way. The Dutch couldn't breed enough of the black and red bugs themselves, so they're coming from America. Ladybirds' main diet is greenfly and other small insects. They can each munch their way through up to 100 every day. And that's all from us for today, but don't forget you can keep up to date with all the news on our CFAX service, which begins at page 170. Until tomorrow, bye-bye.